Jose, we kind of started the show by talking about how, inspired the Blue Jays the way that they've been playing. They're inspiring the fan base to think that this could be a year where they might be able to compete. And it's very reminiscent to the year that you guys had back in 2015. And I'm just curious, like, at what point in that season did you realize, hey, this could be a special year for us?
Well, 15 was a little different because we didn't really get going up until after the deadline when we got David Price and a few other guys. We were kind of hovering at 500 and then just caught fire. So these guys are playing better earlier. So for us, it was that moment after, I think we won 11 in a row right after the deadline, and then we did it again down the stretch. So I can't pinpoint the date, but it was shortly after the deadline where we felt pretty good about, our team. Up to then, we were just doing okay, and then that shot in the arm at the deadline just kind of put us over the hump. But these guys have caught fire at the right time. There's a lot of people stepping up. The usual suspects doing what they do. George Springer getting back to who he really is. The pitching staff is definitely showing up every single night, giving them a chance, and Vladdy and Bo also leading the charge. So it's good to see some of the guys like Barger and others that may not have a household name just yet, but they're stepping up and making incredible contributions. So and that's what it takes, right? Everybody coming together and putting in a great effort and next man up every night, making something happen, try to get that win, and they're doing a pretty good job, and it's fun to watch.
Jose, thinking back to the great teams you guys had in 2015 and 2016, there was a lot of talk that one of the strengths of those teams was the chemistry and the fact that it, made you more than the sum of your parts, even though the parts were impressive on their own. There's been talk within this dugout. You hear George Springer talking about this team like they're a bunch of brothers, and there's such a good feeling around the team right now. Can you speak to the importance of that and how you build it and how you keep it?
And I think that takes a few years, and this group has been together for a few years. So maybe they're in that stage in the maturity as a group that, they know each other well. They know their strengths, their weaknesses. They know when somebody's got it all in the tank that day and when somebody doesn't, and they help each other out. And, they're there to support each other, not only in baseball within the lines, but also as people in that locker room and in life. How to handle emotion in your families and their days of life. So I'm sure that has a little bit to do with it, but winning also helps, and winning kind of brings people together. And then, you start having fun and you create that unity, and that's when it can snowball in the right direction. And it seems like they're right at the beginning of that. So, good to see.
Let's continue on that track. I mean, baseball is so methodical, drawn out, 162 games, 6 weeks of preseason ball, and what you described there is it's a slow transition into where the chemistry shows up. So when it does show up, are you aware of that right away?
I can't say that you're necessarily aware, but you definitely feel when competing becomes a little easier. There's not that underlying panic where if somebody doesn't get anything done, the next guy's got to do double. And I kind of get that vibe from this group. Like right now, the way they're playing is you don't have anybody putting extra pressure on themselves and try to hit a 3-run homer with nobody on base, that kind of deal. So, everybody's just going up, assessing situation, and just doing something positive. Even when they don't get a hit, maybe there's a ground ball, or they run a high chopper out, or, they move a runner over, or they get an RBI with a pop-up or a ground ball up the middle. That's what it seems like to me from the outside looking in. So, and that's when you're playing fun baseball, because you don't have the feeling that you need to string along 3 and 4 hits in a row just to get one run across the plate. So it looks like they're firing on all cylinders, and it looks easy for them right now.